If you work for yourself, you own your own business, you're self-employed, you do anything like that, you have had this problem. And this is the way I approach it. So, Murgs, that's the business I own and operate. It's only me, there's no investors, there's no one else. I'm just in a spare bedroom, trying my hardest. So, our brand, I say our brand, it's only my brand, like I just said, there's no one else. Murgs is a black and white brand. We're very monochrome. This is our best-selling product. It's a pair of knee supports. Over 85% of the knee sleeves we sell are black and white. That's it. Because look, like everything we do is black and white, right? That's the thing. I think that's part of the USP. That's the unique selling point. And every now and again, this happens to me, which means it happens to the rest of us. So we've just launched a new product. That's just a bit of backing. We've just launched a new product. These. And these are called grips. So you would slide your hand through it like this. And then when you grab onto a bar, like this, for example, you now have much more grip and don't come flying off and hit the floor. It lets you do a few more reps. Very popular in CrossFit because in CrossFit, the goal is, people talk about the CrossFit pull-up, about, oh, it's not even a real pull-up. No, because if you're in the gym trying to improve at pull-ups, you're trying to build the muscles and execute the movement effectively to stimulate growth or strength. In CrossFit, it's how many times can you make your chest touch the bar? So we don't want to extinguish the muscles. We don't want to burn them out. We want to make it an efficient, flowy movement to try and get the chest to bar. Anyway, so these new grips came in. Slight twist. Boom. We went for a bit of a teal, like a greeny, tealy colour. I don't know why, it's just a colour that really resonated with me. And I was like, wow, that looks cool. So, these exist. These are in the warehouse. These are on the website. These are on people's hands on bars right now. So they are in the world. I've even added this colour. I changed the brand colours. I'll show you that real quick as well. If you don't have a colour chart that you refer to constantly, you are missing out. So, literally, it's just a text file. Like, it's actually just a text file, and it just says the different colours. Like, I don't know why it still says light blue at the top, because we don't need that, I don't think, but I'll leave it because I must have left it on purpose. The new teal is that shade, the dark blue is that, and then we've got black and white. So, this is where the problem comes in, and my tiny brain tries to get me constantly. So I thought, Alex, oh great, we've just got some new knee sleeves in, we're just dealing with it. What? Where am I? Idiot. Anyway, you can stay down there for now. So, check these out. These are gorgeous. I think these are gorgeous, but every single time I've launched a new colour, a new product, a new version, a new variant, they never do as well as you want. Never, ever do they do as well as you want. Like I said, out of every pair of knee sleeves on the website, at one point I think there were 7 different colours. 7. We had camo, grey, maroon, leopard print, black, and pink. And out of all of them, 85% of sales were either black or black on black. And it's so easy to go full circle and be like, yeah, launch more colours, do more things. They look great. They'll match the range. They'll do this, they'll do that. Yeah, but does it need to? And it turns out, I've learned at this point, me offering these right now, it must be the size of the business or where we're at, and it's not worth it, and I hate it. I wish it was, because people will even do this, right? Sorry, let me just pick these bits up I threw on the floor. People will even do this. You could put that on Instagram and be like, what do you think? Poll results will be through the roof. They'll be like, oh, it's amazing, it's gorgeous, I love it. And then you're like, right, great, there's 28 people there that have just told me in the last 20 minutes that these are amazing. Wow, this is incredible. People are going to love these. And then you launch them and it's like, they don't perform. I'm unsure on whether to do, this is just down the road. I'm not going to buy any of these at the minute. We're not going to offer those because there's other options. If we're going to sell a new version, these ones here, they look like the normal knee sleeves, but they're a different grade of neoprene. You won't be able to see because of the focus on the camera, I don't think, but they're just, it's a different grade of neoprene. So we have two different types of knee sleeves. We've got the V2s, which are just like this with a normal neoprene. I can't remember the codes for it. And then we've got another pair, which is like a heavy duty pair, which have a much heavier dutier neoprene. So it's much stiffer and much tougher. This pair is the same shape as the V2s with the material of the V3s. We're going to call this this is confusing, the V2 7mm Ultra. That's that. So the V2 is the shape, the 7mm is the thickness, the Ultra will determine the neoprene. But I don't have any of them on the way, so that's fine. But I just, it's a trap. It's literally just a trap. Like, you look at these and I think, wow, they're great. And in my head, I'm an infinite optimist, because to come and quit your job and work for yourself full time, you kind of have to be. You can't be leaving work thinking, oh God, it's never going to work. You'll have an even worse time, because sometimes this cannot be fun. But the infinite optimist in me is like, oh yeah, that's great. Like the few times I've put a bet on, I'm not a big gambler because I never win. So I just try and learn from my mistakes. But every year they have a race. I don't know if this is global or just the UK, the Grand National. And I think 40 horses all run round a few miles of track in a complete random fashion. And you never really know what's going to happen, is what everyone says, except in reality, normally the favourites are those that you think are going to win. And it's like, oh, well, that's boring. A few years ago, I put money on, and I'm only talking like either 50p or a pound, on 22 different horses. Even that, some of that were other people's money, because I've got a betting account. My wife was like, oh, put me £5 on. Yeah, okay. And my brother, I think, did the same. And none of the 22 I picked came in the top 6. So, yeah, let's. Anyway, I don't even know how I got into gambling. So we're not gambling. We're not going to offer these at the moment. I'm tempted to do them as strictly a limited edition. That could be an alternative. Be like, right, there is, for example, 100 pairs of these, and they're only available for a certain amount of time. They could be a limited by quantity or limited by time. I'm not sure which, but that's one for another day. Limited by quantity, so off the top of my head, limited by quantity is interesting because it increases the idea of scarcity. You might think, wow, these are one of 100. There's only 100 pairs and I've got 1/100th. I've got 1% of these in the world. That's quite cool. But at the same time, there's no time limit on when a pair will sell out. So if you're there and you're a size extra large and you're sort of looking at the website and you're like, oh yeah, there's only 100 pairs of these. There's not a countdown timer. There's not the hard deadline. There's not you don't know that 20 other people might be looking at that exact same product, and by the time you refresh the page, they might have gone. That actually creates disappointment, because you're like, oh, I was going to do it and now they've gone. Don't get me wrong, sometimes that's on purpose, because then next time you'll take us seriously. But at the same time, doing it for a limited amount of time, it creates a deadline. People think, oh, these are going to be gone in 3 days. It's nearly the end of the month, blah, blah, blah. I better pick some up or do whatever. Or the third option is a combination of both. You launch 100 pairs just for a month. That could be the best of both. But like, these are very limited. These are not getting restocked and these disappear in 30 days. That could be a good way to do it. It's just a risk. And at the end of the day, business is business not just a collection of calculated risks, right? Because given that an online business, you have to spend a lot of money to buy things that you hope others will buy. And yeah, it's just a tough one sometimes, because it's easy to get too excited. And at the minute, right, I'll show you something else. So at the minute, this is another example of how I need to improve the way I stock things. So let's go to murgs.co.uk, click onto that, go down to last chance sale items. In here, there are products like these, the Panther Grips 3-hole. These are a fantastic pair of grips. Same again, I'll show you. These ones, similar to the others, but they lock in through your hands, so your fingers can't come, they don't flap around. See, so you just sort of grab a bar or a rope and they just protect your hands the best they can. These were nearly £40, 39-ish, and now they're a tenner. Because material science has moved on. Literally, these grips are great for a beginner, but given that material science has moved on, the requirements has moved on, even the fact that trends have moved on. It's now trendier, it's more of a trend to have a grip that's like this, with a fully rubber... In fact, this grip is so effective at gripping, that has been banned in the CrossFit Games. I've used that in our advertising. I think it's quite a good way of doing it. Not just ours, every rubber-based grip has been banned. And don't forget as well, the CrossFit Games is only for like, I don't even know how many people attend, but it's so few. Like, I don't even know. Very, very few. That's like saying it's banned in Formula One races. You'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I don't know any Formula One drivers. We'll be fine. So it doesn't matter to the normal person. But these products, they're overstocked. They're overstocked and they're out of date. And the thing is, that's hard to get your head around, there's nothing wrong with them. It's not like, oh, these ones are all faulty and we've got to get rid. Same with this lifting belt. 78% off. It's now a tenner. Why? Because I did a really poor job of organising the sizes. In fact, I'll show you. We'll go behind the scenes and I will show you how many of these belts are left, because, to put it politely, it's annoying. So 4-inch, search for that on Shopify. If you're not using Shopify for your website, I don't know what you do, but it's great. So we've got 82 in stock still, and it's like, these are not, bear in mind, these don't make a penny. Nah, these just need to go. So that's where we're at now. So we've got extra small, 0, small 0, medium 0, large 0, extra large 37, extra large 25, and XXXL 20. And this happens to all businesses. This is why sometimes you go into shops and you're like, wow, look at that. They're selling packs of marker pens off for 20p. Yeah, it's not because they're wrong, it's because they bought too many, or they've changed what they want to sell, and they're like, oh, God, we'll just nearly give them away. But something that most people don't realise is there is... Let me just stand you up so I can talk to you properly. So, the thing is that most people don't think. A few brands would say, no, don't discount these products, it devalues the brand. And on one hand, I get it, right? If you're picking up a Murgs belt for £10... But at the same time, no, I think that's a load of bollocks, right? Because does it devalue the brand? No. In my perspective, and what I'm going for right now, is it introduces customers that are suited to a lower price point. Not everybody is suited to paying £45 for a weightlifting belt. Not everybody takes lifting as seriously as serious lifters. Some people are just casuals, and they're like, yeah, I ain't really got £45 for something that might or might not work. So you've got to think about that. There's the diehards, there's the elite, there's the serious, there's the I know what belt I want, why, and I want this and that. And then there's people going, what's that thing wrapped around people's middle? And it's like, you've got to remember that there's the other side of the coin. Oh, I just had a heart attack, felt the mic went on. But we keep it real around here. We don't cut, no cuts. So we're trying to introduce people at a lower price point to the brand. Even the fact that these grips were £40. These ones were 45 and they're a tenner. I hate Kanye West. I think he's an idiot. I think he's a glorified idiot that's just... I think he's got mental health problems, lost his marbles. But at the same time, he did have Yeezy.com before he started putting some propaganda. He put some terrible things on there. From the Holocaust-related thing. Like, he's clearly not well. But at the same time, when things were not as bad, he was selling everything for, I think, $20. Pair of pants, $20. T-shirt, $20. And I'm like, wow, what a great way to just get new people in. And don't get me wrong, we can't do that because the purpose of this brand, Murgs, is the highest quality. I can't sell weightlifting belts for £10. There's a brand on Amazon called Element 26, and they're very, very popular. Their weightlifting belts are about £25 to £30. I think even as little as 20 sometimes, £20 to £30. And do they work? I'm sure. Like, they sell thousands of belts. They clearly work. But with ours, things are just upgraded, just a smidge. They've got full metal buckles and clasps, and I don't even have one floating about. They're just incredibly robust. So, yeah, long story short, I really like being a premium brand. It gives you a little bit more wiggle room for marketing. It gives you a little bit more wiggle room for quality and for products and for things like that. But at the same time, we still have the same problems that everyone else has. Sometimes you've just got too much stuff. Another thing, I nearly forgot this. Don't forget, we use a third-party fulfillment center, which means I send all my stock to a big massive warehouse that manages my stock and probably 100 or 200 brands. Everyone, like I used to be at the same one that Leeds United used to distribute their t-shirts. And at the fulfillment centre, you rent a bay or a bin. Think of it like a car parking spot, but a box for all your stuff. When you've rented a bin, there's a flat fee on that just to have access. So if you've got products that you're telling them you're still going to restock, they're still going to keep the bin open because they're like, no, he's not told us these have gone. These will be coming back in soon. So I'm still renting space that I'm not even using. Some of these items, yeah, they've just got to go. Anyway, their time is up. So I've sent out an email that went down a storm. Let me just have a quick look at that email. What I'm going to do is, with this email, as a bit of a change, campaigns, right? I don't always do this, so it's called the last chance sale. See, it got a terrible open rate. It only got an open rate of 34%, which is not very good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the title of it, change the title, the subject, and my brain's not functioning. I've not eaten breakfast this morning. It's 10:15 in the morning. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to resend this email, but with a different subject. So, we're going to do this together right now, actually. What we're going to do is we're going to send it to 180-day email engaged. So anybody that's been on our email list or engaged with an email, that means opened it, that means done something. To be fair, it means opened it, because if you've clicked on something in it, well, you've clearly opened it to get to that. So it means opened emails. And 180-day website engaged. So someone that's been on and done a thing, or they've made a purchase. They might not have opened from the Klaviyo email list, but at the same time, they've made a purchase and, their website engaged. So I'm going to resend this email so that this is what I put for the subject and the preview. So it says that belts and grips, £10 each. Preview, up to 78% off, 4 days only. We need to put something that is attention grabbing, that's not clickbait literally. Clickbait to me means I've said, I don't know, free grips and belts. And you might look at that and be like, wow. And then you click on the email and it says free grips and belts when you send us £10. You'd be like, oh, well, that's not free grips and belts. That's just a normal purchase. That is baiting the click. If I put our lowest prices ever and you click on and you're like, belts are £10, well, that is true. That is absolutely true. Our belts are as cheap as they have ever been and they will never be £10 again. This is silliness. Right, so belts and grips, £10 each, up to 78% off, 4 days only. I'm going to come up with some ideas. I'm going to draft some stuff out. I'll show you the process. I just need 10 minutes to have a mess, and we'll report right back. Let's get it. Right, 5 minutes has gone by. Less than I planned, actually, but my brain is not working, and sometimes you've just got to accept that. It's because it's 20 past 10 in the morning. I've not eaten yet, and I should really have a drink of water now I think about it, because Christ, I've not had anything. So all I've done is I came up with a few different scribbles. I'm just going to go for this. We're just going to test it. So if we copy that and paste it in, and then I'll show you what we're dealing with. Same again though, it's all just a giant game of trial and error. That's business for you. Things will go to crap. Sometimes you'll send an email and it'll get a 20% open, and you're like, why? It's just the title. It's the equivalent. The subject and preview is the equivalent to title and thumbnail on a YouTube video. It needs to be interesting and relevant. And also, I think a mistake I made was, here's another thing. A mistake I made was I sent it out to everybody on the list. Waste of sends. It's just a waste of email sends. Because if you're on this list and if you've not engaged with an email in the last 180 days, you've got no place being on this list. It's a waste of money to Klaviyo to pay for you to be a live subscriber when you're not, right? Anyway, so we've got it set to, we're going to do that. And then this is a cheeky trick. Try that. So I think what I am going to do is as well. So you can put down here the sender name. If you put Murgs, It's not a problem. It's genuinely not a problem. We've got quite a good rapport with our email list. We don't tend to go into promotions much, I don't think. I think we go into inboxes, but then again, you don't ever know. But that was what I put. So I put, check this out, 78% off sale. I did it quite short. And then I put, seriously, this is a once in a lifetime offer. And then we're just going to add a quick little emoji in there because they just had a splash of colour. Emojis had a splash of colour, so when you go to your inbox and you see something, you see more than nothing. Also remember, if you've got a really long subject line that goes all the way across, people might not even see the preview text. They might not see it because it might push it off. Let's see if I can find an example real quick. Because this is really interesting. Let's go into that one where it's just full of spam. Yeah, so this is my own email. And so look at this. Even the top one. It's quite a good one from Jockey. It says, from our hearts to yours, 25% off. Happy Valentine's Day from Jockey. Cool. The EE one. BT exclusive. Save on our BT essential plan? Maybe? I don't know. Whereas with ours, it's going to say, check this out, 78% off sale. So you'll see all that. And then underneath it says, seriously, this is a once in a lifetime offer. So you'll see, seriously, this is a once in a maybe lifetime or life. And you'll just catch most of what I'm trying to tell you, which is very useful because you don't want a super long subject. You don't want people to have to work to figure out what on earth you're trying to tell them. But same again, it's just trial and error. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm also going to refresh the picture just so, I don't know if this is even a thing, but just so whoever is receiving this email, it goes in almost as a new piece of work. But that'll take me a few minutes in Photoshop. So let me battle on with that. I'll be right back. Right, no, scrap that. We're here to learn, right? I'll show you. I'll just show you what I'm doing and why. So let me get you set here. I know it'd be better with a screen recorder, but this is only going to be quick. So we've got this on here now. So we're going to change times up to only £10. So that'll do for that. And weightlifting belt, it was at 20 quid. Now it's just a tenner. So we just changed that. We'll leave that there for now. So what we need to do is we need to come into here, down to that, Murgs, professional photographs, down to... So I want to show off probably the grips. The reason for the grips is because I've already showed off the belt and there's only limited sizing for the belts. There's more availability for grips. So all the names of my files do make sense, but at the same time, they can sometimes be quite tricky because if you looked at this, you'd be like, holy shoot, what does that even mean? Hoodies 1? What does that even mean? Yeah, no, this is not designed for anyone else but me. Panther Grips Ultra. No, that's the wrong one. I'm doing a bad job of this. Misk, Megan Blue. We'll try that one. So, if we come down to the bottom.
We're experiencing a common technical difficulty with John's brain. Thank you for your patience.
Right, so finally I found the picture. I may cut some of that last bit out, but I might not at the same time. If it's Anyway, so we've got the lady. We've got a new person coming in. The first thing to do is to cut her out of this image. So I click on this little tool up here, is the object selection, and then look at this. You just click on things. If you don't use Photoshop for things, you are missing out. I wish it didn't have that. That's annoying. I know generative fill's a thing. So let's go copy and paste. Now down to your layers, get that layer and just drop it where the other one was. Get the other one because that's the background, drop that where the other one was, turn the old one off, turn the old one off. All of a sudden she is now where she should be. We're going to delete that text, delete that text. So I think we need to change this as well, because that now makes no sense being there. That Murgs logo also just needs to be maybe a bit bigger, but behind her head. So we'll pop that behind her and we'll bring that maybe to the front. Pop that there. But you might be looking saying, John, the background looks weird. It does, but check this out. This is shocking. So we're going to this tool here. We go on to that and we do that. And we go on to that and click generative fill, extend background. So what this is in theory going to do is using some AI stuff. It comes up with a background. This is in real time, by the way. This is all just what it's doing. So it comes up with some stuff. You give it a prompt. Does it work every time? No. Does it work sometimes? Yeah, I guess. Did it work this time? Doesn't look like it. So what it's done is, rather than extend the image out as wide as we want, it's just changing that strip. So let's delete that. Go like this. Do that. And then that. I don't know what to put. I put extend the background off the image. Normally extend the background works really well. The thing you've got to remember is as well, you've got to be clicked on the right layer. If you're selecting a text layer or... In fact, you know what? It doesn't even look too bad. I think I'm just going to go for that. That is all completely accidental that it's worked reasonably well. I think I might change the bottom. So let's change the bottom real quick. Time to say goodbye. Murgs. Murgs Essentials now up to 78% off. Limited stock and availability. Let's do that. That's fine as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the eraser tool, which is that one, erase that, come on to big, make the hardness in the middle, and then just soften the blend between legs and there, which it did. Make this text slightly bigger. There we go. And that is how you can make an email in not that long. So it's called Last Chance Clearance Sale 2. In fact, I think I've got 2. Let's do number 3. Save that. Okay. File. Save as copy. Save that as a JPEG. Always save the original. Why? Because you've got to save the originals. Like, if you don't save the originals, you can't do what we've just done. You can't just jump back in and edit. So you always need to save the originals. So we've changed the title, we've changed the preview, the subject, whatever. Come into here, replace this image, upload image, click on that. The reason I wanted to show you this was to show you real time. This is what building emails looks like. And I know I do this in most videos because I send a lot of emails. So we want to go into the right folder, that one, to Murgs, down to email. Where's email? I can't read. And then that one. And then find the one we've just made. Time's up. No, only £10. Cool. So I had saved it as number 2. So we popped that in there. Slightly different style, having the faded edge. And I don't dislike it. I think that looks kind of quirky and interesting. It makes her pop from the background. Yeah, could that be a different colour? Yeah, probably. But don't overthink it, because once someone clicks on an email, they don't go back and check them again. Like, someone will look at the email, they'll go, oh, cool, that's the deal. That's next. And then they just get on with their life. So, again, buy 4 items, save 15%. I need these gone. I really need them gone. I mean, down there, women's t-shirts, £7. Less than I paid. It is. And sometimes it just don't work how you want. So I could schedule this. This is where I get stuck. I'm like, do I schedule this for 6 p.m. tonight? Or do I send it now? Because sending it at 6 p.m, in theory, you've got more of a captive audience. People are more... They're not doing things. It's 10:32 in the morning. People are at work. People are out. People are busy. If I send it tonight at 6 p.m, there's more people sat captive on their sofas thinking, ooh, interesting. Also, maybe someone's trained this evening. I don't know. We'll schedule it. We'll schedule this one. Because I only sent one last night. So sending the same one again. In fact, no, I did. I sent this to the wrong people. I've set the wrong... I've done this incorrectly. So delete the 2 that we're sending it to. We actually want non-openers. Where's that segment? There should be a segment on here for non-opened within like 24 hours or 48 hours. But I can't seem to see it. All emails, non-openers 52 weeks. That's too broad. Right, so we're going to go and create a new segment. So in Klaviyo, you pop down to audience, then you go into lists and segments, create new segment. We don't want a new list. That's like a full collection of people. Name, non-openers 24 hours. So this is only going to be for people that have not opened an email that they got probably yesterday. Someone can and cannot. So what you do is then you come into this bit and you've got to choose what you want. So properties about someone, it could be an area, a country, a location, GDPR things, what someone has done or not done. We want that. So we want open. So we want to make sure that they have opened an email at least once, correct, in the last hours 24. So that's it. So literally the condition for this, for you to be eligible for this segment, it searches the entire list and it goes, right, who hasn't opened an email in 24 hours? You, and you. But I think what we need to do as well is that I've nearly missed, put an and. So they've not done that. They've not opened an email. What someone has or has not done, they need to have received an email at least once in the last 24 hours. Because if you've not opened an email in the last 24 hours, but you just missed the last one and you were going to get to it later, I don't know, I'm confusing myself now with my brain fog. Anyway, so you have to have received an email and not opening it. Do they conflict? Do I need both of those? I'll tell you, man, when you work for yourself, this is the kind of stuff that even when you think you know what you're doing, sometimes you just have these moments of, am I an idiot? And this is what no one ever shows you on the internet. It's like, yeah, sometimes I have done this thousands of times. And sometimes you just have to take a step back and you're like, wow, do I know what I'm doing? Oh, somebody's at the door. I'll be right back. That's really funny because we might be getting a new front door, so it could even be that. I'll return. New front door getting fit today. How exciting. This is what happens when you're in your, well, I'm not in my 30s, I'm 29.9. Create segment. So this segment is going to have a few thousand people in it, which is good. So I did do so it does this now. So it does that and it starts searching and queuing and finding and adding, and because it's not a massive segment, there's not millions of people on this list. I think there's maybe 13,000 people on it. And out of that, you kind of realise after a while that a few of them are dead, a few of them signed up just for an offer, a few of them did this and that, a few of them are just fake emails. So to send emails out to these people constantly, it makes no sense when you realise that some of these emails are not real people. So using your sends up, how Klaviyo works is you get a number of profiles per month. So I think I'm on the 13,000 profiles per month. I think it's nearly $300 per month for Klaviyo. And out of that, you get about 10 sends per person. So I get 130,000 sends. But you can either send 10 emails out to all of those, knowing full well that 20, 30, 40, 50,000 emails will never get opened. Or you can be more dynamic in the way you set your segments up, so that only people that are going to read the emails and care are going to see them. So, right, we've done that. Let's go through. We get rid of that and that. We select a new segment. Non-openers, 24 hours. So there's 2,989 people in it. And it does a really strange thing. So it'll have that many people in the segment. There may be more. It may be still populating. But then you come over here to that. And you're like, how bizarre. So it says the estimated recipient count, approximate value, blah, 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 different circumstances. So I don't know why it can't tell you the real number first thing, but regardless, we're gonna do that. And because this is non-openers, I sent the last email. In fact, let me just check. Let's just check the time of day we sent the last one, and we'll send this one at a different time on purpose. So we sent the last one at 3 p.m. So to send it at 10 a.m., I think that's a different time of day. It's a different day. Like, I don't know. Next. Schedule or send. Send now. Send. And that's it. That's just an email gone out to 2,500 people just to let them know we've got some good offers on. Because we do, right? So, yeah. Discounting products. Liquidations. New stuff, like I say about them other knee sleeves. You don't even know how many different samples I've had and been enthusiastic about. In fact, we've got some other stuff on the website. Oh, they won't all be there though. I launched a real bad product once. And it's not even a bad product, that's the worst thing. It's a great product, but I'll let you see why nobody bought them. So if we go into here, into product images, it saves me hours. I don't know if that's a week, a month, or a year with organized files. I love it. I love it. So if we go down to knee sleeves, which is there, and product page images, no, that could be in discontinued. No, they're the other old ones. So we used to have, I'll show you the discontinued pairs that we used to have in the past. There's some quite interesting, and none of these are terrible at all. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. Like those ones, I think they look mega. I think that's just a really nice looking pair of knee sleeves. There's nothing wrong with that. But nobody wanted them. There's the camo, once again. I like the camo, same again. We're either known for black. There's the grey. Once again, they've gone because people just want black. So pink, they got temporarily discontinued. But we've had so many messages from people saying, hi, when are they back in stock? And I'm like, they weren't going to be. But I must have had 10 different people be like, hi, when are they coming back in stock? Oh, look at these. So here's another few that I've had a look at in the past. Like, there's so many options and variations, and you can have different colours on different panels, and we can do whatever we need, really. Those ones are cool. Bear in mind, nobody on earth has ever seen any of those. None of my customers, no one's ever seen them. It's kind of cool. It's nice to share things with you that no one on earth has seen. And then that's another pair, the maroon. They didn't do great either. Right, let me find you the right, here you go. Have a look at these. These were inspired by Team GB. We used to work with Freya Morrows, lifted for the Commonwealth Games, Team GB, all that sort of stuff. So I did a pair that was kind of an homage to Team GB. Nobody wants them. Nobody ever wanted them. Nobody asked for them. And nobody bought them. So yeah, I guess that's that. Yeah, I guess that's that. But you live and learn, right? I mean, it seems obvious now. I'm like, yeah, that is a pretty garish pair that matches with nothing in an outfit. This is an item that not only is it useful, people want it to fit what they're doing. They want it to match. They want it to be part of their look. So, and how on earth do you mix white and red in with an outfit unless you've got a Team GB singlet on? So yeah. Yeah, that's it, basically. So just be mindful. Try and do some analytics on what sells, because it's really important. It's okay saying, oh, we're going to sell this and that, and people will find the nicest one of what you've got, or the most appealing. The thing is with knee supports as well, are you going to have multiple pairs? Probably not. They're £60 each. They're not cheap. If they were a tenner, you might go, yeah, I'll have 2 or 3 pairs. They're 60 quid. You get 3 pairs of them, you're nearly at 200. That's unreasonable for most people. It's unreasonable for me. And other things like t-shirts. My wife went out the other day, and this bad boy's from Primark, because we don't have any Murgs tops at the minute. It's lovely. It's such a nice top. And they were only £4, so she bought me 4, one of every colour. People don't do that with knee sleeves or high-end goods, because it just doesn't make financial sense. So, yeah, colours are tricky. People will want them. People will not buy them. I've been tempted to do almost a pre-release as well, a pre-order. But I've done that in the past as well, and that's bitten me many times. One time I did a pre-order for a new product, and it was late by 2 weeks. I had so many emails of people freaking out, saying, John, where's this, where's that? And I'm like, I'm trying. I don't know. So, yeah, that's the joys of e-commerce. But no, I like to just show you guys a little bit of what it's like in the trenches. So anyways, keep selling things, keep trying, keep testing. And try and make a note of the tests. What works, what doesn't. You'll find out pretty quick. But the best way to find out what works and what doesn't is to do it. Dive in. Have a go. Start a business. Start selling things. I ran Murgs for 5 years before I went full-time. I've only been full-time for 2.5. Don't get me wrong, that's enough time to prove the model works and everything's clearly working. But at the same time, you know, you've got to do it. So if you're on the fence, just make a start. Sign up. Just start building, start tinkering, start doing. Set some money aside you can afford to lose, a few £100s, because you might have a Shopify subscription and you might have to buy some inventory. You don't have to start a business with $1 million. In fact, if most people did, I don't know where Murgs would be if we started with $1 million, because I didn't know what I know now. It's taken me nearly 10 years. I've been selling stuff for a long time. So yeah, just have a go. If you're unsure, have a go. And if you're really unsure, shoot me an email, you know, john@johnsbusy.com. And if you want, sign up to the email list. Check it out down below. You get one email once a week, every Wednesday at 10 a.m. with just thoughts, and it's called Lessons Learned. It's just the things I wish I knew earlier. So we're going to try and, get that rolling. First email went out last week, so you're not far behind. But yeah, happy days. You guys get cracking. I will too. I'll catch up with you soon. Adios.